according to your task, the data that you want to write to the disk may require some processing before it can be written out, but the principle remains the same. So for instance, let's try here to write out data about a protein in FASTA file. We've got an accession number, some description, and the sequence. And what we want to do is, first of all, we probably want to, since the sequence is given as this multiple line string, we want to remove all characters that are not amino acids here. So, for instance, we replace all spaces with empty strings, and we replace all tabs with empty strings, since this, for instance, might be a tab, and we replace new line characters with empty strings. At this point, our sequence only contains letters of the alphabet, so amino acids, and now let's write it. So first of all, we need to build a file name, which we do by attaching the .fast extension to the accession code. So our protein will be pxxxx.fast, and then we open it for writing. Then you want to prepare the header. The header would contain the greater than sign, and then the accession number, and then maybe the pipe sign and the description of the protein. And then we add the new line character to the end, because remember that write would not add it for you, unlike print. And then we can write the header to the file. Now we could just write out the sequence with a single write, but since that's quite long, we actually want to wrap it into 60 characters lines, and that's not too difficult either. So we just assign the line width to some variable for convenience, and we keep track of our position in the sequence, and then we slice through the sequence string by using indexing within the sequence, as if it were a list. So we take the segment from 0 included to 0 is the starting position, right? To the starting position plus the line width. So it will be 0 to 60 the first time around. And we check that that is not empty. So if you try to slice past the end of this sequence, so if you try, this is, I don't know how many characters, but it must be around 250 characters, maybe less. If we try to take character 500 to 505, that will return an empty string. So as long as that is not an empty string, we haven't reached the end of the sequence, and so we have something to write. And what we do is we write to the file that bit of a sequence followed by a new line. Then we increment our position by the value of the width of the line, which is 60 characters. So next time round, we will be writing characters 60 to 120 excluded. And then again, this continues until we find out that actually we no longer have any characters to write. At that point, we just exit the loop and we can close the file. Now, if we run this, we're not going to see anything printed to the screen, but if we here create the link to that file and save it locally to open it, or we go to the other window and we open that file, we will see that it has been created and the lines are nicely wrapped around as we wanted.